Hey guys, welcome back to /Rex Games. We're going to be doing networking again, and in this tutorial I thought instead of doing health pickups and GUI and stuff like that, I thought we should jump straight into the fun things, and one fun thing is network chat. So in this tutorial I'll be adding chat to our game, which means players are going to be able to chat to each other, but also, this is a cool thing, the server is going to be able to chat to all the players and send all those maintenance messages and hello from serverland kind of story. So, as always, I've got my server on my left and the client on the right. And to start this off, I'm going to go into the controller. Now, I'm not going to put all of this chat stuff into the local player, even though that's the person playing. Actually, what I want to do is, when the player chats, he's going to be using direct control of this object controller. And that's going to change some variables, and it's going to disallow movement during chat, because otherwise we'll be rotating and shooting and stuff as we typing buttons. So let's start off. Let's go to object controller. We're going to go into the create. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to create a local array. I'm going to be calling it chat, and it's going to have 0. Let's just initialize all these to blank. It's going to have 5 lines. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are going to be displayed on the middle right of the screen, and depending on what they are, they're going to be strings. Yeah, that's what's going to be displayed. And then we're also going to have some variables like global dot typing. Set that to false. Make sure that's global. Okay, then we're also going to have max width. This is the character limit of the sentence or whatever the person's typing. This you can alter at a later stage. Yeah, just determine how you want things to be drawn. Blink equals false. This is going to be adding a pipe character, which looks like that, to the end of our text, so the player can see, oh yeah, he's still typing, or kind of stuff like that. Cool. And then text equals blank. This is going to be the actual string that the player is typing, and whenever the string is sent off, it's going to be reset to blank. Cool. So say, okay, let's grab this. What do we want to grab? Blank, I think. That doesn't matter. Let's not grab anything for now. So that's cool. Then I'm going to create an alarm. This is just going to control that blink. So blink equals not blink. Okay, cool. So as we can see here, as we type in, we've got this pipe character that blinks and goes away and blinks and so on. That's what we're going to be replicating, and we're going to be using this alarm to show and hide it, just like that. And then here we say if global typing, then call this alarm again. 30. Oops, 30 should be fine. So call this alarm again, and there we go. So that's cool. That's cool. It's going to be continually doing this pipe character to simulate waiting for input until we are finished with our chat message. Okay, then we're going to go add event. This is going to be a draw GUI, bring in some code. I'm going to draw set color, I think I'm going to go for a sea white. There we go. Draw set, this is going to be our horizontal alignment. Let me see if I can get this right. I think it's FA middle. Very cool. Draw set V alignment. No wait, this is right. This is FA middle. There we go. Then if global.typing. Okay, we're going to be saying here if blink, so if not blink, if the pipe character at the end of our string isn't there, if it's not supposed to be there, then we're going to draw text 920 by 320. We're going to say U plus text. We don't have to add string in front of this because text is already a string variable, so that's all good. Cool stuff. Otherwise, doing the exact same thing, only at the end we're going to be adding the pipe character. Hey, cool, huh? So that's the little blink. And then when it's supposed to blink, we'll see it. When we're not supposed to see it, we'll just see the text without it. Awesome stuff. And then lastly, we want to draw our array. So let's grab that array here. paste it over here. Draw text 920 by 220. Now I've already looked at these coordinates. You're going to have to find out where exactly you want to put your chat. There we go. And another bracket. And actually I'll just copy this a few times. I think it should be a space of about 20 pixels. 60, 80, 300. And then obviously 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Very cool indeed. Let's actually make this bigger. Yeah, so we're doing some alignment. We are checking if we're typing. If we are typing, then yeah, draw what we're typing. If it's not supposed to have that blink thing, so draw it without the pipe. If it is blinking, draw it with the pipe. Cool stuff. Then I'm going to create an escape event. Key press. Let's see, I think it's others. Escape. Get in some code. We're just going to say if global.typing, then just say global.typing equals false. So switch off typing if we push escape. Also set text equal to blank. So that's just cancelling our typing and resets the text. So say we're typing a message and we're getting attacked by an enemy ship, we can quickly push escape, we can fly away, retaliate, whatever. So, I mean, we're going to have to type in our text message again, but it doesn't really matter because we don't want to get destroyed. So we go cancel typing and reset our text. Okay, cool. Then we're going to add a key press any event. And this is going to say if global typing. Alright, so if we're allowed to type, if string width, there we go, and the keyboard string is less than max width. So if what we're typing is less than what we want to handle, then here we say text equals keyboard string. There we go. Otherwise, keyboard string equals text. Very good. So that'll control our input right over there. Okay. Now we're going to go to a press enter event. And this is going to basically toggle the chat on and off. So if it was on, switch it off and send a message. If it was off, switch it on and let us type. Pretty simple. So add in some code over here. Here we're going to say, again, if global typing. And then here we're going to say, well, okay, send the text because we were typing. But only send the text if it was something. If it was blank, just ignore it. Because we don't want to be sending that message to the server for that bandwidth if there's nothing there. It's just going to be a waste. So here we say var player name equals object local player dot name. We're grabbing the name. Var chat string. Let's just align this quick. Var chat string equals player name plus, and then I'm going to add one of these, one of those, and text. Cool. So it's going to say, in my case, if I had to send a string and my player name is JP, it's going to have chat string equals JP plus colon plus string plus text. So it's going to appear something like this. See? That's what it's going to send to the server. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, what's next? So now that we've got that all set up, now we just need to send this to the server. So, hbuffer clear. And we're clearing the global buffer. We're going to write a uint8 is going to be our tag. And we send that to the global buffer. And the tag's going to be 8. 8 is available. And then here we're going to write a string to the global buffer. And the string is going to be chat string. Very good. And then we just say socket right. There we go. To our socket. And we don't have to say object controller dot socket because remember we are in object controller, so it's just socket. And we're going to write our buffer. Cool stuff, guys. And don't forget to set typing equal to false. Also, you need to spell typing correctly. And our text is going to be blank. Okay, so that's the case of if we were typing, we typed in a real message and it wasn't a blank string. Grabbing our player name, grabbing what that string was, we're going to write it to the buffer, and our server's going to grab it there when it hits an 8. So we'll check that out in a moment. And then also we are setting our typing to false and resetting our text. Now that that's done, we'll also need to add an else, which is saying, well, if we weren't typing, then basically just bring up this typing story. We can start typing a message. So keyboard string is now going to be equal to text. Our global typing is equal to true. And start the blinking alarm. There we go. Pretty cool stuff. Cool, so that handles our typing and the sending of our chat message. Now I want to jump into object local player because I remember some time ago when we did some of the other parts, we had this enter and the space event, but now we're going to be hitting space when we want to type in a space character, and we can't have it changing this. This is just going to be irritating, so let's disable that for now. We don't need it at all, so we know the sprite changing already works. Also our enter, I'm going to comment all of this out. I wish there was a shortcut key to comment all this out quickly, but anyway. And that was basically just sending hello world. That was our testing of sending a string, but we know that works too, so let's disable that entirely. And then also in our step event, I want to say here if not global.typing, then we're going to be able to move around. And we're going to have to sort all this indentation out. Let's just see if we can select it and say tab. There we go. Very cool. So that'll disable our flying. We won't be able to interact with the game world other than sending our text message. Cool stuff, guys. Okay, cool. So that's everything we need to do on the client. I'm going to save that. And then we're going to bounce over here to the left to the server. Now remember we sent an 8 as our tag. So let's go to Object Player, which handles all our interactions. Let's see. Down to 8, 7, case 8, break. And we're going to say var chat string equals hbuffer read string from the global buffer. There we go. Then global dot chat 0 equals, and then it's just going to be bumping all the chat messages around. Now notice on the side I'm using global.chat, and on our client side we just use chat. Well, basically when the messages come through on the server side, they're always coming through a player, and when the server master chats, he's not going to be interacting with every single player. He's not going to be able to type for them. So in this case, he's going to be using object controller to chat, but he also needs to be getting in chat messages from the players. So basically, on the server side, everyone's going to be using the same chat array. But on the client side, every client has his own chat array, and that's going to be stored in the object controller. So we need to make sure these are accessible to the server master who has control of the controller. So global chat 0 equals global chat 1, and then I'm going to copy this, paste it a few times and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, oops, 2, 3, 4, and then chat 4 is equal to this one. So there it's going to bump them all up, and then the last one's going to be what we're sending now, so that when we're looking at it from our playing perspective, the top message is going to be the oldest, and the bottom one's going to be the newest. And then what we're going to do in here is we're the messenger in this situation as the server. We're just going to be sending it to all the other players. So a player sent a server. Now let's send it out to everyone. Tell everyone that someone's saying something. Clear the buffer. Let's actually go to our client and steal this. Oops, we need to go to the controller, into the enter key, and let's steal this. Okay, let's paste it over here. Also writing an 8, writing our chat string over there, and then in this case we need to say, we're going to write this to everyone, including the guy who sent it to us, because we need to make sure that when the guy sends a message, we want it to be received by him in the correct order. So if two players type a message at the exact same time, it's the server that'll decide which one arrives first and which one will be sent first. So we don't want our client to be doing a chat message, then we don't want it to be updating his own chat, then sending it to the server to update everyone else's. Otherwise, the flow of the chat is not going to make much sense, especially if things arrive in a different order. Cool. So that's it for that. So now all our players will be able to get messages from all the other players. Now we need to go into our object controller, and because it's the first object created, we need to initialize this global chat array. So I'm going to grab all of these, wherever they are. Here they are. Paste them down here. Now do remember that in the beginning I said I was going to enable a feature where the server can also chat to all the players. So you can send a maintenance message or a welcome to the game sort of message. And whoever is monitoring the server has full control. They can type and they can do all kinds of things and communicate with all the players. So in order to do that, we're going to be basically doing the exact same thing that we saw on the client side, but on the server. So there's going to be keyboard strings, there's going to be text variables, there's going to be this global array. So yeah, let's do that now. So firstly, let's initialize this just so that everything up to this point will work. There we go. Then we need typing, it's a variable called typing. Notice we don't have to say global.typing because we don't really need to use this anywhere else other than the controller, so it can be localized. We've got our max width as before, also 300. You can always edit this value at any point in time. I have set the alignment to right, so it's just going to be moving to the left of the screen, depending on how long you want to do. You can add line breaks and whatnot using some of the more advanced draw text functions. I do suggest you check them out just to get this right sort of flow going. Also going to have the blink variable. And lastly, text, also blank. Then let's add that alarm. And let's steal it from here. Things to change, not global. There we go. Okay. What else? Now we need to go into add event, draw GUI, similar to this one. I can actually just steal a lot of this code, put it in here because this is exactly the same thing. Things to change, U changes to server. Global.typing just changes to typing. Chat changes to global.chat. So let's paste this in here. All good. Then again, we need to add an event for a key pressed any key. Let's steal this from here. Exactly the same, except global.typing just becomes typing. Then we need an escape press. Others, escape. Steal it from here. Get rid of global. There you go. Then I'm going to add an event, key press, enter. This is to send a message from the server's perspective. I'm going to steal from this enter event on the client side, but we need to change some things. Firstly, obviously, the global.typing. Get rid of the global. Let's do that everywhere first. Next, player name is going to be equal to server, so that everyone on the client side will know this is from the server. So it's going to say chat string equals server plus whatever, plus colon, plus whatever the text is. Then as before, we're clearing our buffer, we are writing a tag of 8, we're writing the chat string, and we are sending the message through. But also remember that whenever we are messing with the controller on this side, we need to say with object player, send this message to everyone. There we go. And now here's a cool thing. The one difference between when a client sends a message and when a server sends a message, when the server does something, that's it. That's law. That's the rule. That's the way it's going. The server's not going to be getting a message back from every single player saying, "Hey server, we received your message. Now you can set it as your global chat array." So ultimately, when the server sends a message, he's going to be updating the global chat array on his side with whatever he sent immediately. So let's do this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fourth one equals chat string. Typing equals false, text equals blank. If we're not typing, then we're starting to type, so set it up to text. Set our variable of typing to true, start the blinking alarm. And that's everything that needs to be done on the server. So we can say, okay, we can save. Now we need to go back to the client and say, well, it needs to receive these messages. So into our step we go, open this up. I'm also going to open up object player of our server so we can steal code, especially in 8. Let's see here. Steal everything in case 8. Close that now, forget about the server. Let's make this bigger, scroll down, let's paste in our 8. Things to change, well, no global. Get rid of these. And obviously we don't need to write anything, we're just receiving. So now that that's all sorted, that pretty much covers chatting. I know this is probably seeming quite complicating, but don't fear, when I first tackled this many years ago, I also freaked out, and I don't even think I got it right the first time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be going through it in the order of the flow of sending a chat message, and you're going to pick up how simple it actually is. So here we are in client land. We have our local player, we have our controller. So when we decide to type, our controller is sitting in the room, we push enter, it's going to bring up our chat dialog, which obviously, because we weren't typing before, means it's just going to be initializing some stuff. It says we are typing, it's going to start the blinking animation, which is going to be going just like this one, see, on, off, so that shows that we are doing something. Always let the user know what he's doing. Then we type some stuff, we push enter again, it's going to be firing off this event again, and it's going to say, yes, we are typing. It's not blank, so we have typed something. Grab the player name, which is the name of object local player. Then we're going to append to it the text and a colon. Then also at the same time, send that off on a tag of 8, send our string off to the socket, reset our typing, and reset our text. And if we go to what happens when we push any key over here, it's saying if we are typing, then make sure our text is less than the maximum. If it is, just, there we go, keep updating what text is. Otherwise, always keep keyboard string as what text was. So we can't type anymore. That's the way it confines that. Very cool stuff. So that 8 tag is going to be traveling all the way to the server in the object player in the step event over here. Let's go down to 8. It's coming in. We are saving that string into a temporary variable called chat string. Notice we don't have to deal with player IDs. It doesn't really matter because that string coming in has the player's name appended to it. And we're going to be sending it to everyone anyway, so don't bother sending the player ID. So here we go, we're updating the server-side chat, and then we are sending it off just as the messenger does to every other player right over here. So that again is an 8. So let's jump back to our client, object controller, step 8. Let's go down. There's 8. It's grabbing in the temporary string just the same way the server did, and it's updating our local chat string. Very cool. Now if we check out our draw GUI over here, so it's drawing white, it's doing some alignment. It says if we are typing, then if we do need to do the blink, add the little pipe character, otherwise don't. We're putting U in front of our text, just so the user knows, oh, this is me typing. There you go, because this is going to be right at the bottom. Under this array, there's going to be our text. So that's what we're typing. And then also, as you can see, this is 320, and that's 300, so it's right under here. Then when we push enter, it's going to be disappearing, and it's going to be bumping these all the way up. And that's just drawing everything that we received up to this point. Cool. cool. Then if we go to our server side, see how the server does things. He's obviously got this global chat array, and he's got very much the same variables except typing instead of global typing. And then when he pushes any key, it does the same thing, make sure that it's less than the maximum. When he pushes escape, it's going to reset our typing and text variables, and when he pushes enter, it's going to be saying if we were typing and the text we're typing is not blank, our player name is server. This can be anything. This can be server maintenance or whatever. Doesn't really matter. Just tells the users where it's coming from because they need to know that this message is not from another player. There we go. We're appending that name to the text with a colon, sending that to everyone right over here. And then also right now we are updating our global chat and we are resetting our variables. Otherwise, we are getting our chat story ready to roll. Okay guys, that's pretty much it for chatting. I'm going to save all these. I'm going to fire up another client and then we're going to see if this actually works. So here we go. As before, we've got our movement, we've got our shooting. That's all good. At the top right, we've got me, JP. At the bottom left here, we have got Billy. So let's try typing something. As Billy, I'm going to say, hi guys. Enter. Boom. Here we go. On my side, it says, hi guys. On the server, it says, Billy said, hi guys. Pretty cool. So if I reply, hello. Boom. It says, I said hello, hello, hello. Everything's all good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down here. And the server's going to say, hello players. Welcome to the game. Oh, see? It's a bit short. So seeing that, we can see that we need to increase the max width, and then we can handle line breaks and whatnot at a later stage. But anyway, welcome to the game! And he sends it through, and there we go. The server updates everything. And just like that, we've got chat. And he can spam, and see how it does that? Cool, huh? It's always updating everyone else. Stop spamming, says this guy. Very, very cool stuff. So that about wraps up networking chat. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to comment, rate, and subscribe. If there are any things that you need a little help with, you can just put them in the comments and I can get back to you. If you have any suggestions for this tutorial, send me a PM or also put that in the comments. If you like this video as well as many of my other videos that I have on show, please check out my Patreon campaign. I do appreciate your support through that. You can also follow me on various social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. Links are all in the description. Feel free to grab the project file, also in the description, and play around with it. Add line breaks, increase the max width of our chat string, get that all comfortable and add it to your game nicely. You can also fiddle around with the placement and whatnot. If you have any friends that would really enjoy making video games, share my channel with them. Let them know. They might be very interested, and it's always great when making a game to do it with a friend. So coming up next time, I think we will be tackling our GUI and our health and whatnot, and then from there we'll tackle on the more complicated concepts at a later stage. Again, any suggestions, let me know. This is still very early on in this project. So until next time, happy coding, fiddle around, and I'll see you then. Cheers for now.